It's so sad to see liberals self-destruct over nonsense that they've convinced themselves of. It's funny, but it's also frustrating, and it's also sad, all at the same time. It's completely ridiculous. So, when Trump started running for president, not before, no, never before, outside of a few random things that people may have accused him of, but before Trump ran for president, nobody called him a racist. He was accepted in black circles, white circles, everywhere. Everybody loved Donald Trump. He ran for president. The Democrats do what they do. They pull a race card. Oh, he's racist. He's a bigot. He's a misogynist. Who could ever support a man like that? If you support a man like Donald Trump, you must be evil. It's not that you just disagree with liberals or you disagree with Democrats. No, if you support Donald Trump, you must be evil. You must be racist. This is the narrative that liberals pushed. What they did was, and then they would call, oh, you're a Trump supporter? Hey, hi, McDonald's, did you know that your manager is a Trump supporter? He's a racist. He's a white supremacist. So basically, what the liberals did was they created a narrative. They created an environment that was hostile to Trump supporters, right? They created a narrative. They created an environment where Trump supporters were not free to express their opinion in their mind. Then these idiots looked around and said, hey, nobody's talking about Trump. Hey, all of the polls, no one's picking Trump. So Hillary Clinton's going to win in a landslide. Now, obviously, if you can't see the connection between the two, then you're stupid. They created the environment that led to the silence. Then they used the silence as proof that nobody supported the man. This is very important because this is just listen. So they use the polls, they use like general public opinion in the media to say no one's going to vote for Trump. It's impossible for him to win, and to the point where like nobody thought about him stealing the election or it even being possible to steal the election. They just knew that he was going to get the floor wiped with him, and the idea that he would win by any possible way, cheating or legit, was laughable, to the point where Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, basically like the two highest ranking Democrats, or close to it, they both thought the idea of someone stealing the election, of cheating, was completely ridiculous. They literally said it's completely ridiculous, like the idea that someone can steal the election. They said this. Democrats said this. So they thought that Trump had no chance in hell of winning. And the only reason why they thought he had no chance in hell of winning is because of the media that the liberals control and the toxic environment that people created for Trump supporters, to where they basically went underground. Trump supporters went silent. So the polls and stuff was not based on reality, like they often never are. The polls were based off an illusion. People started frauding. People who supported Trump, they just wasn't free to tell you. They weren't going to tell you about it. So, boom, Trump wins the election. 63 million people vote for the man, or 61 million or something like that. Then, boom, here come liberals. What? It's impossible for him to have won because our data show that nobody likes him. Public opinion show that nobody likes him. Mind you, this is something that they created. So they created the hostile environment. They created the misleading data and polls and censuses and all that. And then they came to the conclusion that he must have cheated. The only way he could have won was that he must have cheated. And they pretty much were so brainwashed by themselves, telling themselves what they want to hear, that they went off the deep end. That whole Russia collusion thing, all of that is insane. It is ridiculous. Like I said, before the election, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, who probably the media laughing at him. Oh, Donald Trump, if you lose Donald Trump, you're going to accuse the Democrats of cheating? Ha 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 ha. What kind of nonsense is that? You're un-American. But yet, when he won, they literally said the same exact thing. Then comes the Mueller investigation, right? So, then comes the Mueller or the FBI investigation. I don't know, but they're on his tail. Let's just say Mueller. So then comes the Mueller investigation. So, because because they believe there is no way that he could possibly win, they wanted the FBI to investigate him. But their conclusion that there's no way he can possibly win was based off of delusional data and based off of faulty data that they had, based off of the silence that they created, based off of the hostile environment that they created for Trump supporters. So had Democrats learned to shut their mouths, and liberals, if they just shut their mouths and let Trump supporters be Trump supporters, then they would have saw that actually they were in trouble for the election, and they could have handled it completely differently. But no, they were so brainwashed, and they were going each step of the way. They're going off of hysteria or data, basically an illusion, a fantasy that they created. Up to the Mueller investigation, where they're so upset and determined to find something based off of the idea that it was impossible for him to win based off the faulty data. Do you see the chain of stupid? Do you see the chain of stupid here? So then the Mueller investigation basically says there's no evidence that he did anything wrong. Now they're questioning Mueller. They were questioning Mueller, saying, "Oh, he must be compromised," and they were questioning the new Attorney General. Well, he must have altered the report, and he must have twisted Mueller's words, and Mueller must be compromised, and he must be, hiding for protecting Trump. So they just added another level of hysteria, illusion, delusion, and idiocracy or idiocy, whatever the word is. The entire way, you just have an escalation of a lack of common sense and pure stupidity, all the way up to the point where they're turning on the very investigators that they wanted to investigate him in the first place. The ones who they appealed to and put their trust in. Now, instead of them actually stopping at any point along the way and saying, something ain't right here, maybe we were just wrong. Maybe when he got elected, nobody said, maybe we're just wrong. Maybe a lot of people did like Trump, but they just didn't tell us. No, they didn't say that. No, there's no way so many people could have possibly wanted to vote for Donald Trump. There's no issues out there that anyone could possibly ever disagree with Democrats on, because Democrats are so holy and awesome. They're great moral people. That's the way they think. That's the way Democrats think. That's the way liberals think. They literally think that. They literally think that if you're a good person, you will agree with them. And if you disagree with them, it's automatically because you're an evil person. It doesn't occur to them that you're just a person with a different point of view. They literally are incapable of contemplating that and seriously considering it. You will not, I guarantee, you will never hear a Democrat say that. You won't. They'll always say, you don't like abortion? You don't care about the mothers. Oh, you have a problem with welfare? It must be because you hate the poor. Oh, you like capitalism? It must be because you're evil. It can't be, hey, either this guy over here, he likes capitalism, either he's evil and greedy, or maybe he just has a different philosophy. You will never hear that. So now, so much pressure was put on Mueller in his investigation, such hostility, such anticipation of something that wasn't there was created. So much of an environment of kind of trying to force Trump to be guilty happened to where Mueller didn't even want to come out and say that Trump was innocent. It's like, I can't prove that he didn't do it. Man, look, if you know anything about law, if a judge or a prosecutor, if a judge said that to you and said, well, you're on trial for attempted murder, I can't prove that you didn't try to conspire to murder that guy. I can't prove that you did it, but I can't prove that you weren't involved, therefore I'm going to send you to jail. You would have a fit. But Democrats and liberals hear that from Mueller, and it's like, see, he didn't say that Trump was completely innocent. There's a positive. He just didn't find it. So, at what point do people stop and actually use their freaking brains? They they might as well just have a 6-year-old draw a fairy tale, because that's how real, that's the level of reality that they're living on. So now they're trying to impeach Trump and they're trying to do all this other stuff. It's all because they've got themselves so worked up simply because they wanted to believe foolishness. It's still going on. Now it's still going on. It doesn't matter what you tell them. It doesn't matter what the facts are. It doesn't matter what reality is. They've got it in their mind. They've created an entire fantasy world where Donald Trump is this evil dictator who stole the election, and they're going to do everything in their power to remove him, regardless of whether he's guilty or not. They've decided that he's guilty without looking at any evidence. Without any evidence. They've already decided it. And then they're going to fit the laws around their decision instead of letting their decision be based off of the laws and the evidence. So let's just follow it back. Let's just follow it all the way back. Some of them, they look at Mueller's statements, they look at his press conference, and they say, Trump is guilty, Mueller just can't prove it. And they base that off of the assumption that the only way that Trump won was if he stole it. And they base that assumption off of the fact that, off of the fact that polls and census data and just the word of the general feel of the country was that people were not going to vote for Trump and he was going to get slaughtered. And they base that off of the silence and the lack of people in many places to vocalize their support of Trump. And that was created by the hostile environment that liberals created by attacking Trump supporters and going out of their way to demonize Trump supporters. Do you see the theme here? The theme here is not that the liberals sat back and observed how things went. It's all based off of them actually initiating all of this foolishness. All of the things that kind of ruined them, they created it. Now we have to pay the price because we have to see corruption all in the government and people willing to do whatever it takes to take a man out of power who did nothing. He did nothing. And it's sad to see, but it makes me angry because my kids got to grow up in this world where facts and logic don't matter. It's all about feelings. How do I teach my kids to not be emotional, but to live their lives off of facts and logic and common sense? When the people in charge, when the people that's leading the culture, aka liberals, are turning everything into a feelings match. It's all about how you feel. You don't like Trump, therefore you can find whatever you want. You can make up stuff to get him out of office. You don't like Ben Shapiro, you're free to label him a Nazi. If you don't like this or you don't like that, all of a sudden it's automatically evil. Like, that is dangerous. And I see Christians endorsing this nonsense. The man's heart is wicked. And what you have with liberalism is people completely going off of the sinful nature of their heart and ignoring what God say, ignoring what common sense says. They're simply going off of what they're just doing as they please and forcing their views on the other people. So the liberals, all of this stuff, all of this hysteria, all of this drama that the entire country had to go through and the entire world had to sit by and watch. It's a complete circus. People I know personally getting so upset, so angry, friendships being ruined, family members being separated, people committing acts of violence against each other on both sides, all because liberals insisted on something being true and they refused to just sit back and listen and think about the consequences of their actions, because they were fascists. All of this is because of liberals or fascists and forcing their views on the other people and saying, if you don't go my way, you're evil. It's my way or the highway. That's literally what liberals did, and while accusing Trump of doing that. So I don't know. It's just discouraged. This is a discouraging time that we live in, to see people go insane over literally nothing. There's literally no reason for Democrats and liberals to be scared of Russia or to be so hyped up over the rise of the KKK and hate speech and all of that. But they let the media and the liberals play them And now you have a nation full of people who are bitter and who are angry and who I think eventually is just going to destroy each other.